Ladies and gentlemen, we are live. Civitas FC in the mother. No, I'm kidding. In the edit that out.
This guy's something else, man.
Edit that out, fam.
Yo, by the way, no, quick note.
What?
Like, it asked for explicit or non-explicit. I had to do explicit, like we swear,
That's
So,
fine, dude.
Okay,
It's fine. We're not getting brand deals yet. It's okay. All right.
But still, keep it at a minimum.
Yeah, no.
Like,
I'm chilling.
restart that shit. Run it.
I'm gonna restart. Relax.
Well,
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 4 of the Civitas FC podcast. We are your hosts with the most drip in the world, baby. Let's start with what everybody's got on body per usual. You know what's going on, Joel. I see you.
Arby, let's start with you this time because I feel like we always start
with
with
me.
We're gonna do worst first, save the best for last. So let's
all right. I'll feel you. You know, you guys got some drip on today, so I'll respect that today. Let's go. So today I got the Italy Euro Run jersey. Now they only wore this in qualifiers, which is the sad part, but it's got that beautiful green. It's a little bit different mix up for the Azzurri, a beautiful pattern on it. For the ladies and gentlemen that are just listening at home, I'm gonna make you feel this jersey through your earbuds, man. Almost looking like a beautiful peacock in this. And I'm not gonna swear. I'm gonna keep it clean. I promise. Listen, I promise the guys that I'm gonna try and keep things a little more clean, a little more suave for the kids listening at home that want to learn about crypto. So we're being suave now. We're being classy now. Okay. So we got this beautiful gold accents on this jersey. Ciro Immobile on the back. Not everybody is a fan of this man on the Italian national team. He doesn't put in that work quite like he should on the Italian national team, but he had his moments in the qualifiers, and he did score some important goals as well. So
let's see if we'll see that jersey in the World Cup this year.
Ooh, it's tough. All right, boys, rank the jersey out of 10. That's our new thing now. Rank the. Go ahead, Joel. What's his getting out of 10?
I know I was kind of shitting on you. Which is my language. But that jersey's really fire. I know Frost is it too, and I'm not a huge fan of Italy, especially since they knocked my Belgian boys out of the last Euros. But that jersey's pretty fire. I didn't even notice they didn't wear it in the competition. That you're so right though. Why?
No, they didn't.
It's an homage to the Renaissance times. That's why they have the green and the patterns on it.
Interesting.
The youth teams as well.
I thought it was going to be unique owning it, but now I know this guy owns it too.
Yo, come on! I'm a connoisseur.
I'm gonna give that like a 9. It's a really sick one. I think it's a
hell yeah. Faraz, what you giving it, bro?
I got to give it a 9 at least. I own it too, so I'm not going to give anything less.
He's not going to disrespect himself, right?
All
right.
Benny, what you giving it?
7.4. We'll maybe bump it up a point if they make the World Cup.
Look at the collar on this thing, bro. Look at the collar. Pop the collar like classic Icardi. Come on, man. You're playing. All right, Joel, what you got on, man?
I got this Club Bruges kit on, as you can see here. Oh, shit. It's weird when you're looking at the camera pointing the wrong side of my chest. Just a classic, supporting my Belgian league. And I got the man Van Aken on the back. For those that can't see, this man's
loving that purple, bro.
Belgian, classic. It's blue, bro.
It's blue. It looks purple on the screen, bro. That's crazy.
Colorblind, but it's fine.
Damn.
No, but not necessarily a Bruges fan. I would say if I had to pick a Belgian team, it's definitely Anderlecht because of my boy Vincent Kompany. Still man.
Moving like a bandwagoner right now. Going crazy.
Okay, cool. But anyway, what you guys rating this one then? It's a classic.
Listen, I thought it was purple, so I was gonna give it like a 9. But now that I know it's blue, it gets downgraded to an 8.
I'll get my Anderlecht jersey next time. Then you get the purple.
There you go. That gets a 9 at least. Purple's a fire color for a club, That's
actually true.
Faraz, what you giving it, bro?
I've seen it in real life, so I'm going to give it a solid 8.5. But because Belgium's not in the top 5 league in the world, nothing higher.
I'm not even going to argue with that. It's fine.
Who's going to argue with that? Who's going to sit there and argue that? What you giving him?
I'll give it a 7.1.
Damn, this guy's a tough critic, man. This guy's like Simon Cowell.
Belgian league, not even his favorite team. Like, come on.
Yeah, that's pretty whack.
He's tough for a man that can't even afford his own jersey. So,
Oof. Told you. We waiting for the Rio jerseys.
All right, let's move on to my little Iranian lion right here. What you got?
Cheetah.
It's an Iranian cheetah.
I got the
Look at that silver shine on that jersey, man. Look at that. That's a beautiful jersey from Iran. Take a bow.
This is from 2014 World Cup when Messi destroyed my dreams in the 91st minute of the group stages.
But at least you were drippy.
We qualified for our 6th World Cup, 3rd time in a row, so I had to rep out my own country.
In lieu of that achievement. It's pretty actually remarkable achievement. I know qualifying in Asia is a little easier, but it's still impressive.
That was a nice little slide in some hate there. I'm not going to undercut of hate.
Backhanded compliment right there.
I can't say anything because Asia's easy.
Because it's your country and I love you, I'm gonna give you a 10. Wow, there you go.
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
That's a 10 out of 10, bro. It's so unique. It's so different. The silver on the cheetah is fire. I love when animals get incorporated on jerseys. That's a 10 out of 10. You win hands down today. Hands down.
Yeah, the cheetah really snaps. I'll bump it up like 1.5 from the 8.4, so we'll give it a nice
9.9.
7.
This guy's wild.
We'll give it an 8.9 today.
All right, this guy's wild, and he won't even give a 9. That's crazy. Faraz, I'm coming with you to Iran, bro, just to grab one of those. That's fire. Don't gatekeep that jersey. Don't gatekeep that jersey, bro. What'd you say?
So will they let you in the country?
Yeah, I'm cool with the Iranians, bro. I'm Albanian. They'll let me in.
He's got an Albanian passport. That's it.
That's right. I'm bulling. All right. Let's get into it. Let's talk a little bit of Civitas. Actually, first of all, Ben, where's that sweatshirt from, bro? What brand you got on?
No, we don't need to talk about Ben's Uniqlo sweatshirts and stuff.
I'm just messing. But yeah, let's talk a bit of Civitas. What's going on at the club? So, ladies and gentlemen, we're getting close to 100 members on Discord. We're hype about that. We're excited that people are joining the movement. But you know what? Let's get out there. Let's push it even more. Tell your friends. Anybody that you know is interested in football, anybody that's interested in crypto. This is a great place to learn more about crypto.
We're at 89 right?
I think 89. Yeah.
Cool. Let's get that starting 11.
We're getting there.
Ben, we put in some work on the website. Shout out to our boy Ian, the Slovenian Inter lover, helped us out a lot. So we love seeing members of the community, reach out and get integrated. That's the big thing. So we want to see more and more of that. But, check out the website, man. What do we have on there, Ben? Let the people know what's on the website, bro.
Yeah, we just have everything we're doing right now. Podcast, all our social content, blogs for us with an amazing blog last week. Got the light paper up there, really just putting all the content that we're producing up on that website. And like you pointed out, it's amazing to see all the contribution that people are starting to bring to the table. People really see the message, they're aligning with it, and they're hopping on, as we continue to grow, it's kind of spreading more and more. And, like you mentioned, Ian worked on the website. I want to bring up some news that, we want to do a FIFA tournament. Woo! Have another friend of ours who's very excited to be running that. Our boy Matthias, shout out Matthias. He's going to be spearheading that. You guys have anything?
Give me the money. Just
you think you're going to be there?
Just saying, we
can talk
about this later.
Yeah, save time.
I'm excited. We're doing a lot of different stuff.
Yo, what console is Matthias on, bro? What console is he on?
I think he's on Xbox.
He's scared of the smoke. He's scared of the smoke with Rocky Bobby. It's all right, PS5 homies. I got you. We'll run something else for you guys. You know the vibes. Faraz, bro, talk about your blog. I'm sure you're super excited. You got the first blog up on the website. How are you feeling? For the people that haven't had a chance to read it yet, give them a little taste of what's in there.
Yeah, so this week, or this past week, we wrote about Barcelona and their fall from grace. We covered basically everything post 2015 up until now and all their financial mismanagement and transfer mismanagement, how they ended up in the position they are today, and who's responsible for that. I know a lot of our followers are really interested in our football fanatics, just like we are. So we're trying to bring them a story every week, in different aspects of the world, to intrigue their interests.
That's awesome. I'm a Barca fan, and I thought it was a great read. Disappointing, but it's the reality.
It's a good read. Keep in touch. Keep up for these podcasts. For these blogs, we're going to try to have them every week.
Weekly, baby.
Some of our blog posts are going to be extremely educational. I know we have one coming out about the structure of Civitas and how it's going to be working moving forward. So if you have any questions, just definitely look at our website, look at the blog section, and read those posts.
Definitely.
100%. All right, let's get into it. Let's talk a bit of crypto. Crypto chat is in session. Faraz, you got a beautiful story for us today. Let us know.
Yeah, so piggybacking on top of the whole Barca situation we were just talking about, this week's Chatting Crypto story is kind of macro. The past few weeks we've been talking on a micro scale, talking about individual pieces of the crypto world, whether that's Bitcoin, NFTs, or fan tokens, and how they increase fan support or influence. And this week, we're going to be talking about Barcelona's shirt sponsor and the interest of huge firms who are within the crypto world and how they are going to attach themselves to these huge brands such as FC Barcelona because of all the value they see within the football world. But I have a quick question for you guys. When you guys think of the Barcelona shirt sponsor, which one comes to your mind?
UNICEF.
Ooh, UNICEF,
Yeah,
100%.
UNICEF for sure.
I think
UNICEF
Rakuten is
ties-
for scrubs. Rakuten is
I
for
think
scrubs.
I think that ties perfectly into almost your article in their fall from grace. You know, Barca was known to be so financially stable and such a powerhouse that they had, you know, for free, UNICEF just branded on their shirt, and it was kind of beautiful.
Yeah.
It kind of encapsulated like everything they were about. And so you just saw that going downhill, even though it wasn't shown on the pitch yet because they had superstar players. You saw that kind of them going downhill when they started getting Qatar Foundation on their shirt. I was rocking that jersey like last episode. And then now they had Rakuten, however you pronounce it. I don't know. Now they're delving into the crypto space. So at least they're learning and they're, you know, looking for
They're getting
opportunities to
modern.
really grow. They're getting modern.
You know what's
at least,
funny?
yeah.
When I was a kid, I didn't know, like, I associate UNICEF so much with Barca that I saw somebody with the UNICEF Foundation, like with the shirt and something. I was like, oh, that's Barcelona. Like, I thought that was their thing because I'm a kid, you know, so I really associate those two things together, like almost like Inter and Pirelli. But that's kind of a sick thing. Now you see them kind of moving away from that, like Joel mentioned, and it's kind of almost like a sad end to an era. But, you know, you got to make that money at the same time. Can't hate.
You got to make that money, honey. That's what we're all about, too. I mean, they have it on the back still, so at least it's kind of like a tribute still. But, you know, they're going to turn into one of those Mexican teams with like 50 million patches on them.
But yeah. For the Mexican teams, they need all those sponsors because that's how they, you know, they don't have an $80 million yearly deal with a large company. But talking about UNICEF, I mean, they moved away from that model, right? They moved towards a model of complete money. All they want are these huge deals so they can pay off whether that's debts or any sort of finances they have. But what I wanted to talk about is there was 3 main companies in the running for their shirt sponsor deal. The first one was Vegan Nation. It's a Vegan Nation, for those that don't know, is a new-ish company that's based around building a sustainable ecosystem online with an online marketplace. And in order to do that, they released their own form of cryptocurrency called Green Coin. And Green Coin is actually pretty big. It's, you know, I think 1.5 million coins are being used around the world in order to fund their project. They were the first people that were really bullish on the shirt sponsorship deal because they thought that their ethos as a company would meld into Barcelona's whole sport model. But, you know, ultimately, I don't think they offered enough money for them to say yes. The other
Stop vegans 2022. That's all I have to say.
Green Coin trading at about, I just looked it up, about still less than a cent, like 0.002 of a cent or something like that. So invest. No, I'm just kidding.
And what they did to even sweeten up their deal was they actually partnered with a Chinese tech company called Tencent. And Tencent focuses on virtual reality, and their whole goal is to bring virtual reality from your home onto the sports world, where you can essentially sit at home, put on your VR camera, and watch any game as if you were in the stadium in your favorite seat.
That is a huge
that's fire. That's game
opportunity
changing.
That I feel like is definitely going to take over kind of just the way you interact with your favorite sports in the next 10 years. Like, I think you're going to have floor tickets to NBA games. Like, you could just put it on your Oculus, sit at home with your friends. Like, that's going to be a game changer for sure and create a lot of more revenue for these clubs.
I mean, the metaverse is going to implement that soon enough where you can be able to do that with your avatars and connect your avatars to your virtual reality cameras. But that's another topic for another day. Now, the 2 finalists that ultimately ended up securing a deal with Barcelona as their shirt sponsor moving forward, because Rakuten or Barcelona did not, you know, renew the Rakuten deal after this June, are Spotify and Polkadot. Spotify, obviously, most of our listeners should know, you know, huge multimedia company, streaming services for music, podcasts, so on and so forth. But Polkadot is what I kind of wanted to focus on because they are the focus of our Chatting Crypto because of their unique model. What Polkadot is they're known as a blockchain of blockchains. Now, most people might not know what blockchains are listening to this. Blockchains are essentially virtual databases that can track any sort of transaction, and they're a ledger for any type of form of cryptocurrency that is used to make a transaction or traded. The blockchain is the ledger, and it's essentially what people use to spread that.
if I can touch more on it, because I'm also kind of vested in this space. It's like you have main cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, which is the foundation, which is simply that it's a currency, right? And a lot of factors contribute to the price. And you have something like other coins like Litecoin, which are also just currencies, and those prices kind of increase and decrease based on their news and where they're accepted readily. And then you have these other coins that are, like you said, these blockchain technologies. They're essentially ledger technologies. They're their own networks essentially that can have projects built on top of them. So there's some examples like Ethereum, which is like the oldest one. There's Phantom. There's another one called Avalanche, and then now Polkadot, right, which has its pros and cons to using it.
What's unique about Polkadot is that with any blockchain technology, there are three main problems. Problem number one is diversification. How well can you separate yourself from the regulations of the financial world? Problem number two is the speed of the transactional speed. How fast can you get multiple transactions going because of so many different users worldwide? And the third one is security. How secure are those transactions? Can someone potentially, take your cryptocurrency for themselves or hack it or somehow? Because this is a completely autonomous, decentralized marketplace.
Yeah.
What Polkadot aims to do is they have this, unique technology where you guys can read up on. I don't want to get into too much of the details, but it's basically parachain and relay chain technologies where you can take multiple different blockchains and integrate them together and allow them to communicate with each other. And that not only increases the speed of transaction, but also the variability of how many different marketplaces and how many different cryptocurrencies you can trade at once.
Yeah. What's interesting to note too, the story of these different protocols, essentially what Polkadot, Ethereum, Cardano, what these are protocols, a way, like you said, a blockchain of blockchains, way people can build stuff on this blockchain. And what's super interesting is that Ethereum actually started out with the founder of Cardano, the founder of Polkadot.
Yep.
And because they thought about the way they want to build the protocol in terms of the governance structure, in terms of these kind of little minute details, they decided to go their separate ways. And, now we have these different protocols that are all worth billions and billions of dollars.
And, as I said, Barcelona finalized the deal with Spotify and Polkadot. With Spotify, I believe it's $340 million over 5 years. And with Polkadot, it's another 100 million over 5 years. So if you add those two together on per annum, they're almost earning 80 million euros just from a shirt sponsorship deal, which breaks the mold of any
insane
precedent.
Polkadot's
Real Madrid were the highest, shirt sponsorship with Emirates, and I think they were at the 70 million. So they're even 10 million.
Oh wow! Polkadot's the sleeve sponsor for Barca, though, right?
Yeah,
and Spotify was the main one.
And Polkadot's going to be the sleeve and also the training top.
Spotify, we're shouting you out. Sponsor us. Spotify, sponsor us. Thank you.
Plug our podcast. Throw us in a little
plug our podcast.
If you guys end up canceling my boy Joe Rogan, we're next up. Throw us up there. We'll fill that gap. That
we will not get into any COVID vaccine discussions on this pod. Just FYI.
I think ultimately
keep that to yourself.
They need to invest that 80 million euros a year correctly in the club. They can't just use it as a way to, give their shareholders more money or their hierarchy, but they need to actually use them to pay off the debts that they owe, almost $1.4 billion in debts that they have, and any other form of transactional needs that they have.
Yeah.
Well, it's a cool story. It just shows like what we're trying to do with all the listeners and everyone part of this. We're just trying to show that this space in the sport and the sports world is really becoming really intertwined, even if it's slowly. And so thanks for that. That research was a cool topic we got to discuss. I don't know.
Exactly. These two worlds are joining more and more together because they both see the potentiality within each other.
And right in between that, ladies and gentlemen, Civitas FC. Just
the connector of bridges.
Exactly.
Let's get into our next segment, Joel, bro. What's going on around the leagues? Let's talk a little bit of ball.
Well, that's enough, tech analysis. Let's talk with the ball stuff. There was a lot of stuff happened. There were a lot of games that occurred. There's
pause on that ball stuff.
I didn't mean it like that at all. I didn't mean it like that at all. That's on you.
It's fine though. Let's keep it moving. All right, just talk about it.
Football talk. there are no club games going on right now, at least in like Europe. We had some international games that we'll get to, but I think we got to start off with just transfers. January 31st, January transfer window is closed. This is one of my favorite transfer windows. There's just so much stuff happening. Literally, the 31st is like my favorite day of the year because there's just so many crazy trades. Throwing it back to that Ozil last minute trade like 2014. That was a while
Robinho. Remember Robinho from 2000?
Yeah, like crazy. Anyway, I wanted to ask you guys.
Hope Robinho dies.
Oh,
yeah, that guy. That guy's in
we'll get into a lot of other scandalous stuff that happened with a certain Mason. We'll briefly touch on that. But first, let's talk transfer news. Favorite transfers. I want to hear from everybody. Who are the big winners? Which teams? Big losers? What are you thinking? Rocky Bobby, tell me.
Come on, baby. Everton grabbing Dele Alli. A lot of people don't believe in the boy anymore, but let me tell you something. For Alex Ferguson to believe in you, for Jose Mourinho to try to have a sincere one-on-one talk with you and maybe pull you out of your gutter that you're in, you have talent. There's talent there. And I hope that this move just wakes him up a little bit. You know, he's taking a step down going to Everton. You would expect him at this point in his career to take a step up, especially with how talented he is. People forget the goals this kid was scoring were insane.
Nasty. Especially
insane
against
goals.
Chelsea, you know?
Exactly. So for me, that's a big win. Everton, a lot of big wins. Bringing in Frank Lampard, that's huge. I don't think that Chelsea was the best place for him to succeed at that point in his career. I think it was a lot of pressure, but I think he is a good manager. I think he'll show it at Everton. And I also like Van de Beek going to Everton. So a lot of positive stuff coming out of the Everton camp.
I saw so many memes, just like when Van de Beek was signed first on loan, right? And then like an hour later, they're like signed Dele Alli for 30 million pounds or whatever. It's like Van de Beek's just like, you really signed another guy for my position? Like, are you serious? Like, I can't imagine how he's feeling. But I'd like to see them both together. Faraz, what do you think? What do you think about this?
I mean, as far as the Frank Lampard managerial change, like I love him. He's one of my top 3 favorite players of all time. He was my first jersey ever that I got him on the back. But my only question is, how can you hire a guy with such a small CV relative to the other guy they were interviewing, which is Vitor Pereira? A guy who won the Portuguese league title twice, went to the final, I think, of the Europa League. You know, his CV was clearly ahead of Frank Lampard, but just because Frank Lampard, quote unquote, knows the league, the Premier League, they hired him. So I have question marks about that, even though I hope he succeeds. And as far as the Dele Alli goes, I personally was never a fan of his. I don't think he's a great footballer because I don't think he's mentally there. I think he has all the talent in the world.
But don't you think that this? I agree with you that for the past 4 years, like he's not been mentally there, but this is a big step for him. Like this, I feel like this shows how serious he is now because he's taking a step away from his comfort zone. He's going to a completely different team. I think he's really looking forward to kind of energizing himself.
There's 2 ways to look at that, though. At the same time, Conte might have driven him out of his comfort zone. He had Mourinho. He clearly didn't like playing for Mourinho. Conte is an even bigger stickler in some ways. So there's a lot to look at with the Dele Alli move. But I think for us, it's what you said. Yes, mentally he's not there. Talent-wise, you can always separate mentality from talent. Talent-wise, he's not there. So if he puts, if he matures, if he puts everything together, he says, and he takes a step back, hey, look at myself for a second. I should have been going to Manchester United right now. I should have been going to Real Madrid right now. I should have been going to one of these huge clubs in the world, but I'm taking a step back. I'm regressing towards Everton. And no disrespect to Everton, but it is a regression in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Look in the mirror. That's what it is. And if he can have that wake-up call with himself, I think we can see change.
But doesn't the differentiating factor between good and great, it's that how well you can mentally be ready and focused week.
100%. 100%. 100%.
It's just the performances. He didn't have them.
Anyway, I'm looking forward to seeing how he does and the whole Everton, fan base accepts him and how they do. They're sitting pretty in 16th right now. So Frank's got to get to work is all I'm saying.
You can only go up. You can
it's
only
looking
go
bad.
up from there.
All right, let's look around the country for some other
Newcastle with Newcastle's new team.
Let's talk about Newcastle. Let's talk about Newcastle right now. How do you think? Okay, spent 93 million pounds in the transfer run. I saw something was like the bottom 5 teams of the Premier League spent more money than the entire Serie A combined, than double what La Liga teams paid, and greater than what the Bundesliga transfers and Ligue 1 transfers all combined. That's nuts. That doesn't happen in any other league.
There's 5 teams and they're all 20th, 16th.
It's nuts. This is going to be one of the greatest relegation kind of battles ever. And I think Norwich is doomed because they didn't make a single transfer that whole window. They're just kind of sitting there like, well, I hope my boy Sargent kind of does something for us. But let's talk about Newcastle's transfer window in total. 93 million pounds spent, like I said. Are they going to make that great escape? What do you guys think?
I hope that they don't ruin Guimarães' career. I think he's a good player, The only problem is when you sign a player like that, it's really important because he's somebody that thrives off his teammates, off the people around him. And if they can't play that beautiful football with him and they can't let him orchestrate the gameplay, he's going to look really bad.
Mm-hmm.
And I personally think that they would have been better off signing a striker, like a very potent striker right now, somebody that's scoring a lot of goals, rather than going the route that they went with their transfers, where it's these guys that are good players, definitely isolated, but I don't know if it's what they need to kickstart. And maybe St. Maxime has to do more. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe some of the guys that they're already there have to show up a bit more. I don't know if it's enough to change the way things are going. It could make it even more embarrassing potentially.
I think that they really strengthened up in areas where they were really lacking. Like they literally replaced their entire back line, except for maybe apart from one center back, signed Dan Burn from Brighton, signed Matt Targett on loan, which is a great signing because he, Lucas Digne came in and we were always like, wow, you're just forgetting about this guy, even though Digne is, better quality than Targett, but a great signing for them. Obviously had Trippier there. Dubravka is a good goalie. If they stop conceding as many goals, I think that they're going to be okay in the front end. But I definitely think that their whole plan of signing Chris Wood kind of backfired because one, you have a veteran, Premier League striker who can score a lot of goals. But I think the real cream of that transfer was them taking him away from from Burnley. But then Burnley go ahead and sign Weghorst now, for chump change, who is not having a great season this season, but last season, only
monster
by Lewandowski?
Wow, yeah. Weghorst, monster.
I think in the past, from 2020 onwards, only Robert Lewandowski has scored more league goals than him.
I know Sean Dyche is licking his lips. Traded 162 bloke out for a 6'6" giant.
The pressure's on, man. The pressure's on. If I really think Eddie Howe, if he doesn't win his next 3 or 4 games, at least 2 of them, they might sack him and get another guy in because there's no way the takeover team, paid $300 million to just see them go down to the championship. Like that's a huge deal.
It would be a fat financial loss in a short amount of time. I'll just say that.
I think that everybody should count their lucky stars, man, that these guys are where they are on the table right now. Because if they weren't, you can see that they're willing to splash cash. They could have made some insane signings if they weren't on the verge of relegation. Some players just stopped talking to them because, like, Robin Gosens came to Inter. Newcastle was also talking to him. One of the main reasons why he didn't go there was because they might be getting relegated. There's a lot of factors. These guys could have been really scary, and I'm sure that PIF is punching their walls right now.
And all their signings were short-term minded. Only Bruno Guimaraes was the actual signing where you can say, okay, yeah, they're thinking of the future. This guy has a lot of potential to grow. And 40 million is a lot, but he's 25 and he's a baller. Like all the other signings, short-term.
They definitely want to get over that line. And in the summer, if they're still in the Prem, they're going to be like, take a fat breather and then really
just a scary summer.
Pump the cash in. Anyway, we got a lot more transfers to talk about. I'll just touch on some quickly. A beautiful story. Christian Eriksen signing for Brentford, even though it's a 6-month deal. It's just great to see him. I know exactly where I was when I saw that Denmark-Finland game at the beginning of the Euros. It still shocked me to this day. That was crazy. I know everyone kind of feels the same way. So super happy for my. I was calling for Oz, and he's like, "Bro, I didn't see it. I was in the bathroom or something." And
I'm going to say something awful. You know where I was while Christian Eriksen was dying on the field? I was recording a podcast and I had the game on my phone, but it was small, and I was in the middle of a podcast. And I'm literally talking about Denmark in general and Christian Eriksen, and I'm just tearing into this guy. I'm like, he could be doing so much while this guy's dying on the field, fam. This man is dying on the field. I had no idea. And my homie Favo, shout out Favo, was doing the podcast with me. He's like, it looks like someone's hurt pretty bad on the field. But we're still on the podcast, so we're not really fully involved with what's going on the field. And I'm just tearing into this man. Just he could be working hard. He should be pressing, blah blah blah. And then all of a sudden, after the podcast, I'm like, oh shit, that's Christian Eriksen. And I'm like, we got to cut the tape. We can't put this podcast out.
No, I don't think there's any correlation between what the tragedy that happened to Christian Eriksen and RB's comments on him during the game. We'll maybe investigate
I think I killed him. I think I killed him. That's what it is. I broke his heart.
Ben hasn't talked so much this little segment, so I really want to get his thoughts on this whole boomerang move to Barcelona. The last second. Dude,
okay.
You happy he's gone? What's the deal?
Listen, I am happy he's gone because I feel like the team morale at Arsenal is better. What I am pissed about is Arsenal didn't do anything. So we're left with
not only did they don't do anything, they did negative, in my opinion.
They did worse.
I mean,
they got rid of a lot of people.
They signed some shit American kid to play goalie.
So I am pissed about that. What will say is that their
Turner's a
latest
beast, bro.
performances have been really good without him. Their young squad is really balling out, so I hope that continues.
Yeah.
For Barca, though, I don't know. I just feel like they've gotten so many attacking players that I don't know how they'll even play. Like,
right?
How are they going to fit all of them? I'm just super curious to see what
What was
Xavi
the
does
point
with
of
that because
Fernand Torres? Like, I thought he
no,
was
yeah,
supposed to be a striker.
I agree. It's going to be very, very
What's the point of
interesting.
Ferran Torres in general? This guy doesn't do
Half
anything.
those players,
Dude,
I
he's
mean,
good.
they're all short-term contracts, so half those players aren't going to be there next season.
It'll be a really interesting story with Barca, but I feel like we've covered them a
They
lot. But
need
just
to,
shout
bro.
out Adama Traore also going back home. Will be fun to see him in La
He grew
Liga.
up. Apparently,
That's
he grew up
fire.
15 minutes away from the camp now, like 10 minutes
Wow.
away from the camp
I
now.
want to
The
see
average-
him. My dream is to see him as a wing back, man. I want to see this man ball out as a wing back. He's got the power. He's got the muscle. I want to see it, bro. I don't want to
That's
see
what
all
him
I'm
as a
Conte was
winger.
trying to do.
All I'm trying to
Yeah.
say is that the average La Liga, random Spanish player is probably like this skinny, and so it'll be really fun to see him kind of go up against all these people.
Yeah.
Other transfers that happened, enough to talk about Barca. I think the big one that we're skipping on right now is Luis Diaz to Liverpool. What did you get? Franz, what do you think this is like? What do you think this is indicative of the future for Salah and Mane? You think one of them is going to be dropped more? You think one of them is going to go?
I think it was a great deal by Liverpool. Apparently, Klopp, and Liverpool were scouting him for a long time, and because they saw Tottenham and Conte trying to pull that trigger and trying to get him, they quickly moved, hijacked the deal. Klopp FaceTimed Luis Diaz apparently, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm ready to come." But this gives them a lot of leverage. I think this gives the club a lot of leverage because Salah's contract negotiations are still, happening. Mane's contract, I think, is almost up. So this gives them a lot of leverage to say, hey, you know what? We're offering you this much. If you don't want to take it, we have enough players and enough depth to overcome your loss. So we'll see. But I really like the deal. 25 years old. The guy's a baller.
It's a hefty price tag, 60 million euros, but I think Klopp can get a lot out of him. Arby, what were you going to say?
I think so too, but at the same time, career-wise, I don't know if it's a smart move for him because unless Sané or Salah leave, I'm Mane. I messed up their letters. I'm going crazy. Isn't that wild? No, but unless one of them leaves, I can't see him getting that much playing time over them. They're not going to get dropped from the first team. He might rotate in. He might get subbed in, like Shaqiri was getting subbed in. But at the same time, so if I'm him, I'm thinking like, is this the best move for my career? To be seen, right? Are these guys leaving? Is that what this means?
You don't think he'll be able to fit in with Mane and Salah?
You think they'd run him as like a false nine?
They have 5 players. They have 5 world-class players now for those positions. Jota, Mane, Salah, Firmino, and now Luis Diaz, right? So, I can't imagine that there wasn't
some conversation. Where would he play, though?
I can't imagine there was some conversation with Klopp that didn't involve, like, in the future, you're going to be a starter at this club. Like, someone is going to go eventually. Maybe not right away, maybe not in the next 2 seasons, but eventually.
I don't know. It's just like, where is this guy gonna? If it's right away, where would he play? Like, unless he plays false nine.
Yeah, fair point.
I think Mane's the one that's gonna go.
I know. I'm scared. I agree.
Also think that.
And you know what's funny?
Luis
Diaz is very similar to Mane. Like when Mane joined Liverpool from Southampton, he was the unfinished product, and Klopp made him the guy he is today. Like although Mane has a lot of drive and passion and talent, under Klopp he became this player. And I think Luis Diaz is same situation. We'll see.
Luis Diaz. Anyway, so lots of transfers going on. A lot of people left Spurs as well. Just touch on and came into Spurs. I think it's hilarious that they just loaned back Tanguy Ndombele back to Lyon after spending 50 million on him like 2 seasons ago.
Bro,
there's something missing with him there. Whatever. Brian Hill going back to Spain, going to Valencia. Lo Celso going to Villarreal. Then they got some good transfers in Kulusevski and my boy Bentancur on a permanent transfer.
Your boy?
Not my boy. Everyone's my boy, bro. I'm a nice person.
I thought you were about to tell me you're like a Bentancur fan or something. I'm like, what are you talking about?
I don't think anyone is a Bentancur fan. I mean, unless you know him personally.
Fabio Paratici is. He's the guy.
Okay.
Guess who else is a Bentancur fan? Some weird London publication said Conte got his Iniesta. Fam, these guys don't even play similar. They're not even relatively the same type of player. Some Italian kid was calling him like the Uruguayan Pirlo. What are you talking about, people? Have you guys forgotten what kind of legends we had in the game where you're comparing a bum like Bentancur to them? Come on, bro.
We're going through a rough patch in terms of iconic figures almost.
What's going on, man? It's crazy. Also, Ndombele, I'm talking to you, Ndombele. Listen, Ndombele, I hope you watch this one day, all right? You clowned yourself, bro. You put that work in, man. Put that work in.
I saw this thing.
Tottenham, everybody clowned themselves in that transfer. Lyon's going to be paying more for him than what they sold him for, I think, at the end if they pull the trigger on it.
To buy, or like a clause that they need to buy, an obligation to buy.
It's like a whole lot of clowns, and that whole deal is just clown face everywhere. Clown. No winners in that. Just a bunch of embarrassing.
I saw this being utilized well. That guy.
I saw this hilarious meme, and it was like a trade negotiation. It was like Spurs, like we get Ndombele, and it's like Lyon, you guys get 50 million and Ndombele. Just like literally the span of a year. Anyway, let's wrap up that transfer talk at least. Just think about how exciting, guys, transfer day and deadline is going to be when we're the ones controlling the decisions on deadline day about who we're going to sign when we have Civitas FC, whatever team we buy. It gives me goosebumps literally just thinking about it. I can't wait. But only time will tell. And we'll see. Hopefully we'll get to there too. There were a lot of, just speaking on other footy news that's going on, because there's a lot that's going on. A lot of games this weekend. I know USA was in action, losing 2-0 to Canada up in Chile. Ontario, are they playing Ontario?
Yeah, they played in Ontario, yeah.
It looked cold, man. But I mean, they did not get it done, and now they're straying away from that automatic qualification spot. Faraz, you have a little pesky look on your face. You want to talk about it?
Yeah, because this whole international window for the United States has been a shambles. Even though they beat El Salvador 1-0. First of all, I don't understand why you have to play these games in these extreme winter weather cities in Ohio and Minnesota when you clearly have more talent than them. So shouldn't a neutral field with better weather be more advantageous to the people that have more talent? That's mistake number one. Mistake number two is Greg Berhalter is over his head, in my opinion. That guy, he after the Canada game, he said, "Yeah, I'm very happy with this performance, even though we didn't get the result. We should keep our heads high." What are you talking about? Canada dissected you on every single counterattack. You did nothing in the game besides one header from Weston McKennie off a corner.
On paper, in my opinion, maybe on paper, Mexico could be better, but on paper and compared to other teams, I feel like the USA should definitely be 1 or 2 without a doubt.
One. USA should be number 1.
They should be 1, especially with
this is the most players we've ever had in the top 5 leagues in Europe. This is the most players the United States has ever had. So if those results aren't translating, and Canada has a few players. I don't even think Alphonso Davies played in that game, right?
No, he's out. He has cardiac. He has myopathy.
Exactly. So Alfonso, you're okay. Shout out. But at the end of the day, you have to win that game. I don't know what to tell you, the United States right now. How are you letting Canada dominate out here? They've got maybe 2 or 3 players that I'd say are pretty good up to par, but you've got almost an entire squad of first team players now that play in the top 5 leagues of Europe. Yeah, something's not translating.
They were helped out by a 0-0 draw, Mexico-Costa Rica, and Costa Rica basically out of it, in my opinion.
Tata Martino, he's on the hot seat, man. The Mexican Federation, they got to pre-select 6,000 fans to attend the game at the Azteca. And even though they pre-selected those fans, they still heard the Fuerza Tata chant. Fire him.
Wow. Oh, my God. Incredible. Anyway, so USA still looking. I still think they're going to qualify and everything, but
they will. If they don't, that's a shame.
It'll be way worse.
2 World Cups in a row. Oh my!
It'll be way worse than they're missing out on 2018. I'll tell you that for sure. It'll be way worse.
It'll be embarrassing. Laughing stock.
That was insane.
Anyway, other games going on. Let's talk about some AFCON games. We had Senegal playing Burkina Faso this morning this noon, depending where you are in the world, for the semifinal spot, and now they're in the final now. So Senegal, 1 ticket booked. We're only 1 game away from maybe seeing a Mane Salah matchup in that final, which I think is what everyone wants for the books. Maybe Klopp doesn't want it, but
winner stays on Liverpool. Winner stays on Liverpool. Grudge match.
Luis Diaz definitely watching that game. I know, Faraz, you say Senegal's going to win it all, but you still think they're going to win it all?
Yeah, I think Senegal's going to win it all, but I think actually Cameroon's going to beat Egypt. I think they've been to the semifinals 9 times before, and 7 of the 9 times they've made the final. So
shout out Edo.
Shout out Eto, my God.
My boy Choupo-Moting.
I think Cameroon's going to beat Egypt, and they have the home crowd advantage, but I think Senegal might take it all. But it all depends on Sadio Mane. He's literally been the guy carrying the whole team, even though they have a lot of talent.
Yeah. Anyway, it'd be cool to see. I think that second semifinal, Cameroon-Egypt, is tomorrow, 3 p.m. Eastern time. It'd be a really cool game. Always looking forward. And even if you're not super into the AFCON Cup any game of this importance, this magnitude, you should definitely be watching. It's just really good to see the passion of these countries and everything. Let's see, much more to talk about. We had some CONMEBOL qualifying matches as well. Brazil and Argentina playing. Both those teams qualified anyway, but there's one country I wanted to talk about with you guys for our Colombian listeners. You guys might not make the World Cup. How are you guys feeling about that? I know Faraz has some words on that, but talk to me. I mean, James Rodriguez still playing, even though he's playing in Saudi Arabia right now or wherever the hell he is.
Yeah.
With his like pink hairdo.
He's playing esports, bro. He looks like Megan Rapinoe. He looks like Megan Rapinoe. He's playing esports. It's time to hang it up, buddy.
Yeah, I agree. James Rodriguez needs to leave the team, but I mean, they're dependent on a 36-year-old Falcao, and Luis Diaz and Cuadrado aren't playing that well for their national teams. Like,
where's Falcao? Is he still in Turkey?
No, he's in Rayo Vallecano.
He plays at Rayo Vallecano, remember?
Oh, what?
Yeah, he's balling.
Last I remember, my homie was at Galatasaray.
Colombia haven't scored a goal in 7 World Cup qualification matches, which I think dates all the way back to 5 or 6 international windows ago. So they're in deep trouble.
Yeah. Luis Diaz, man. Step it up. You got to step it up.
Turn up, bro. You got to turn up. Take the reins.
You don't want to miss that World Cup this November. Everyone knows about that. But anyway, Ecuador might take their spot. They've been performing really well. They haven't made a World Cup. They missed the last one. They were in 2014, though. And then before that, I'm not sure when they had made it. Maybe 2006.
No, Ecuador 2006.
No, they were in 2014.
Don't challenge the historian.
I'm telling you right now.
No, because the South American country.
They were in France, Switzerland's group, and someone else. Remember?
And they're going to have to get some marital counseling. This is crazy.
I'm telling you. I'm going to look at it right now. We got the internet.
I'm pretty sure that
he's pulling up the seats.
Ecuador, 2014.
He's pulling up receipts. This is getting serious.
They're with Honduras. They won that game. They lost to Switzerland, and they tied 0-0 against France.
Okay.
The historian has been humiliated.
The historian has been humbled.
Yeah,
anyone can be defeated with the power of Wikipedia, my friends. I'm just telling you. Shout out.
Get a new job, bozo.
I can't.
Anyway, not that many club games. We have so much more to talk about in different podcasts, but there was still so much to talk about with transfer news. Iran, as my man is showing right here, made their how many World Cups in a row now?
The third. So 2014, 18, and then 20.
Pretty commendable.
Shout out to Iran. We don't want nuclear warfare. Let's relax.
South Korea also booking their spot in the World Cup. Still some spots left, obviously, for South America, for North America, and for these European playoff legs that we'll definitely talk about when the time comes. But in between then, I think it's some Champions League action, so super pumped to cover that with you guys. But anyway, we've been talking footy nonstop. We can keep going because, like I said, we're all lovers of this game. That's what's binding us to this project, this mission. And I'll leave it to Benya, Rocky Bobby, whoever wants to take it away with some final Civitas notes, some stuff to look forward to. Some cool ideas.
I just remembered that Man U took an L this transfer window, losing Greenwood to prison.
That's something we completely forgot to talk about. Yeah, man, that was scary. That's a terrible situation.
I hope that kid rots in prison. He's a clown.
Situation all around. Fame getting to his head. Clearly had so much talent, but like that doesn't matter at all anymore. Above all, you got to be a decent human being. Right.
So. Yeah, that audio of him, if you guys can check it out on Twitter, but it sounds awful.
It ain't looking good.
Yeah.
I don't know what lawyer is going to help you, but God bless the lawyer.
Anyway,
and I hope he fails. But yeah, no, Man U, that's awful. We're seeing. Can we actually talk about it just really quickly? Actually, we're seeing a lot of this type of stuff start happening more and more in football now. Like back in the day, the biggest example I can give is Robinho, but now it's like. I think the Suma had an accusation. I don't know how that ended up.
Yeah,
Mandy has a squad.
Gylfi Sigurdsson.
Forgot about that guy. Oh my god.
A lot of stuff. And I think Boateng, this is another story that came up. Boateng had a crazy domestic abuse case that nobody's talked about at all. No, and he actually was proven guilty too. Like he punctured her kidney. Like it's insane. So, at one point I'll have to kind of look at the sport itself. And is it a culture in the sport that's kind of causing this sort of, arrogance? Maybe these people just think that they're bigger than what they are, that the rules don't apply to them, but it's a lot of sickness, in the game. And sometimes it's just people, like people are fucked up too, it is what it is, but
I think it's a combination of it all. I don't necessarily think it's happening more nowadays than it was in the past. I think people are just speaking out more now.
Talking more. Yeah.
Which is obviously great, for the world and for the sport in general to just progress from this. But yeah, man, just be a good person. Like if you take anything away from this podcast today, is be a good person. Like, Jesus.
Don't be a piece of shit.
Just because you earn money, and are famous doesn't put you above the law in any sort of
Literally.
way.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's how it is.
All right, let's wrap it up with a bit of positivity. The people deserve some positivity in their days.
Sure do.
A lot of stuff to look forward for too. We talked about it a little bit. FIFA tournaments coming. That's going to be awesome. And we put out a poll. Seemed like a lot of you guys are about it. You guys would be excited too. We're going to just roll out the final details. If you guys want to do a pay-in and the winner earns money, if you want to do a token. So we're just going to talk about all that. We're going to figure out the community. But look forward to that. That's going to be awesome. Keep checking the website for new blogs weekly. Keep active in the Discord. That's where all the information comes. Reach out to us if you have any ideas how we can make the club better. We really want this to be fully collaborative. If you even just post in the Discord with an idea, anything at all that you think would help. And we're going to continuously ask, for people to fill more and more roles so everybody can feel like they're contributing to the community. One thing that we're kind of looking at right now is seeing if there's anybody interested in editing videos. And when I say editing the videos, I mean cool, something crazy out of the park. Like Rocky Bobby's talking, maybe he says something very clown-like, you throw a clown on top of my face.
Your
CGI out here.
Your application process is if you can make some fire pop out of my hand like right now.
Let's go. Yeah. Show us your CGI.
Let's
my boy Joel's out here. He's killing it right now.
I'm
But
doing my
if there's
best,
somebody,
man.
yeah, you're doing your thing, bro. We respect that.
Man.
But if there's somebody that wants to contribute and they're nice with these crazy CGI effects, they can take it to the next level. Hit us up. We love that. Any sort of other thing, any other roles that we want to plug right now? Anything we want the people to think about?
Yeah, I think, we're focusing a lot now on obviously this media arm, building out the community. Another thing that, as we are now in February, we want to start looking more into is actually the structure of an acquisition, what it takes to actually legally, in terms of, just the legal aspect of things, but also how a team would be managed as a DAO. So the more research we do there, any people have ideas on that. We talked today with somebody from a football group and how they are running things and how they are able to, get teams to manage certain aspects of their business. But that's something that we want to start diving into. So anybody that wants to help with that, we definitely need contribution for that, and are going to start actively pursuing those aspects of the general organization we're trying to build out here.
And we're always looking for dialogue. We're always looking for new ideas. So anything, just hit us up. We're open like that. And then a lot to look forward to. I hope that we can also have some of those conversations even on the podcast, and like the community can listen in, or if anybody from the community has some sort of big idea that they even want to present on the podcast, let us know first. And maybe it's a cool dialogue for everybody to listen in on too.
Definitely.
So just hit us up.
Speaking of that,
there's no limit.
Yeah,
go ahead.
We'll definitely be running a Twitter Spaces some point in the next week. Again, we want to start talking with more of the community members, and really sharing kind of next steps and what different aspects we want to do, even how we want to set up this FIFA tournament. A lot of things to look forward to, definitely.
Yeah, I think Spaces is awesome because it's really a dialogue with everybody in the community. This is cool. Like, you guys can listen in, you guys can hear really good stories, and this is way more structured. But in Spaces, we get that interaction. So, we really want to fill in all the gaps. We want it to be well-rounded. Our ability to, get information to you, but also to interact with you. So again, it's about building that community and just becoming really tight-knit and working together towards this greater goal. Any last thoughts for us, Joel? Anybody want to jump in?
Spread the word, everybody. The larger the community, the stronger we are as an organization, and the faster everything can get starting to roll, and ultimately our dream will be achieved. And also next week, 2 blog posts, like I said, one about the structure of Civitas moving forward, and one I think I'm writing about Derby FC and the role of the fans and how they could have saved their club.
That's awesome. That's going to be a great story.
I'm excited for that. All right, folks. We're signing off. This has been a great 4th episode. We're hoping to have a guest on next week. I'm not going to spoil anything, but this man might be a bit of a baller. Let's just say that. But very excited, and it's only up from here, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see you guys on Spaces. We'll see you guys in the community, and we're very, very excited to keep it pushing.
We're on timeline. We're on schedule, baby. Let's get it.
Woo!
Cheers.